They're here.
Just like I said.
We have it!
Huh.
You're just in time. But be ready to run. Three, 2, 1.
This won't hold it for long. Find Neuvillette. Tell him the defenses are about to collapse.
Then what will happen to you?
Until he arrives, we're the last line of defense. The gate. How long do you think it'll hold?
That depends on us.
Neuvillette? Why are you here?
Traveler, I need you to head to the Opera House. Farina will soon be meeting with the knave there. You must protect Farina, and make sure she doesn't spend too much time alone with her. Will do. You have...
Look! There are a ton of Fatilian Palais Mermonia people over there! Are you two the traveler in Paimon? Monsieur, though I'm sure he's already explained, this should be a mostly cordial conversation, unlikely to give rise to violence. But it would be most...
Oh, so you two are the honored guests, Miss Fer-
Of course, of course! How could they not attend a meeting?
It is my pleasure to make your acquaintance, traveler. I have heard much of your accomplishment.
I've already prepared seats for you.
Perhaps you two are unaware of how Miss Farina and I do things. You see, we actually recently agreed to get together. See this? This is a limited type of confectionery that Miss Farina simply adores.
Traveler, what do you think of this cake?
That's good to hear. So what child said what? I wonder how he's doing nowadays. You must have heard, right? He's suddenly gone missing.
Since we're talking about him, I feel like I should add something.
Oh, so you're also familiar with his aptitude for fighting, Miss Farina. Oh, right. I almost forgot. Against ordinary people, my colleague would never be on the back foot. But alas, he just never imagined he'd run into such a person. Coming from you...
But I thought you would be happier to hear the news.
Of course, but it's still a bit of a shame. You see, I would have been far happier had I received this...
Well, in any case, there's...
Oh. And
because we found evidence that
And where did he go after leaving?
Well...
The fortress of Meripede lies deep beneath the waves. Unless he pranced right out of the main gate, he must have had to swim for it. Do you have it? Ah, that is good news at least. His sister Tonya sent a letter to Fontaine not too long ago. Do you have any idea how he usually writes back to his family? Dear Tonya...
All letters tend to follow the same few formats anyway, right?
Hold on. The water in the teacup is...
I suppose this is also a sign of things.
I don't...
Have we entered into the next stage of the prophecy?
My thanks to you both. I will take it from here.
Sure you don't need a hand?
Quite sure.
Wow. So, what's your secret, huh? Let me guess. Nah, who knows? Maybe it's just your sense of responsibility.
Sounds about right.
Day may come when the prophecy is fulfilled, and the waters burst forth. But it is not this day! This ancient power could easily obliterate an entire race. A tsunami of fury would unleash endless catastrophe. This sentence is too severe. Forgive me for overruling it.
All right. Seems like the problem inside has been...
Let me guess. We're safe for now.
Indeed. But only...
I win this bet. You owe...
Very well. It was indeed.
You made a bet?
We made a bet on the size of your entourage. Cloran thought you wouldn't come down by yourself.
I figured you would have at least brought a few people along for appearance's sake. It appears I underestimate...
Shouldn't you have gotten used to confidential missions by now? That's just...
So what gift must the loser give?
He already has tons of tea in his office. I'm thinking about a set of legal...
That wouldn't happen to be a dig at my lack of legal awareness.
Well, I'm sure His Grace doesn't consider the fortress to be outside...
I was under the impression the residents of a place like this would...
That was up. Anyway, you've still got some...
No need to stay here if you have a pressing matter. We all know you can't leave Palais Mermonia for long.
Thank you. I hope everything went smoothly with the
I must say, we've spent long... Miss Farina. As the Hydro Archon, I am sure you understand the exact meaning of the phenomenon we just witnessed.
What are you trying to say?
At this point, I don't think there's any more need to speak as diplomatic representatives. Allow me to speak to you now as just a Fontaine. Yet, here you are, relaxing, drinking tea, and eating desserts as if it's all nothing more than the prophecies hanging above our necks like a guillotine. Every faction is looking for a way to either avert the disaster or but you? It beggars belief just how nonchalant and carefree.
You're wrong. I've never ignored the prophecy, nor have I just been passing the time in self-indulgence. Retract your...
I am not alone in my doubts, you know. All the children of Fontaine... Oh, great Hydro Archon. How are you going to save them? Save us? How are the people you've sworn to protect supposed to survive?
I have my ways, and I've been working on them for all this time. Even if you look down upon me, you have no right to judge me. Fontaine will be saved. Even if I still cannot see the true future right now, as long as I can...
Then I ask you, Miss Farina, just what have you been working on? Where can we see it and...
My machinations are just like the prophecy itself.
I see. As a god, the proof of your labor... Allow me to be so bold as to ask another way. Would it be possible for you to tell us the parts of your plan that are not confident? Oh, that look in your eye.
The emergency...
Then allow me to jog your memory. Miss Farina, what is the purpose of your Oratrice Mécanique and what do you plan to do with the massive amounts of indemnitium that has accumulated over the years?
The Oratrice? It's just like it appears to be.
So you also have no idea. If I'm not mistaken, someone's using... I first caught wind of this when Linny tried to investigate the Oratrice in the Opera House. You see, even if that had nothing to do with you, then what could you possibly be... Oh, right. I almost forgot. Udex Neuvillette is not at the tea party with us.
Yeah, yes.
Of course I will. Although, I must say... Oh, very well. Let's stop that conversation here. There are still a few slices of cake left. Traveler, I heard that you were recently commissioned to handle a few matters on behalf of the Udex. Why don't you take an extra... You too, Paimon.
Thank you. Oh, Paimon's super
If it's on my tea table, it must be of the highest quality.
You're welcome. It is getting late. Why don't we call it a day?
Very well. We'll end it here.
Mind seeing me off, Traveler? We could use the opportunity to...
Paimon's coming.
I'm glad that you were willing to come with me. Of course, child was just an excuse. I have no interest in your dealings with—
That's what Paimon thought.
You lent your aid to the children of the House of the Hearth. As their father, I would like to express my gratitude. Do I look like an irresponsible father to you? The House of the Hearth is very important to me. That was all. Formal topics should be discussed in formal settings. I know you just returned from the fortress of Meripede. Relax. I have no intention of trying to get anything out of you. Linny, Lynette—
They've all been working very hard and have always done all they can to fight back.
You mean Wriothesley. He's a tricky one to deal with. It's unfortunate that— By the way, and you can just consider this a bit of idle gossip, you are outside of our disputes, and the freest person in all of Fontaine.
And that's everything that happened during the trial. Master Child was declared guilty and immediately transported to the Fortress of Meripede.
Didn't he say he was coming here on vacation? Does he not feel an ounce of shame for all the trouble he has caused? Forget it. He did give us an opportunity. I will be meeting someone short.
Do you require help with any preparations?
No need. I need to meet with Farina, the Hydro Archon. She is at the heart of Fontaine. But what's fascinating about her—
Oh? Come over here, you little critter, you! You dare to run from me? Stop right—
My goal is just to discover the location of the Gnosis. But I didn't expect the chance to approach Farina to be— Anything left unguarded is usually just bait. But it's just as I guessed in the second before I struck. The Hydronosis is not in fact, this Archon—
Who are you?
The fear in her I left the scene with ease. Not long after, my informants confirmed what I had guessed. After returning to her quarters, there's no doubt that there's some— I have to find the
Yes, Father.
My dear children.
News from the Fortress of Meripede. Master Child has gone missing. On top of that, the contacts and guards we bribed at the fortress have all gone quiet as well.
Probably the handiwork of that Wriothesley. I'm afraid this is a good opportunity. The value of a harbinger is much higher than Set up a meeting for me. I would like to meet the Hydro Archon. Oh, and I have an additional—
Yes, Father.
Tartaglia's disappearance was not a part of my plan, but I can use it to make a breakthrough. With the initiative belongs to the— You should know the rest. Lenny's group is quite close to you, so they wouldn't have hidden. It wouldn't mean anything, even if you shouted it from the rooftops. I've now had 2 chances to enjoy tea with Farina. I have to say, the leadership of Fontaine is even more inscrutable. I am a servant of Her Majesty the Tsaritsa. Over my years of service, I've learned how— Of course, that is all just how I feel. It is, however, quite amusing to me that after all my years working— Don't you think Fontaine is quite intriguing? Ultimately, though, one must survive. You don't need to commit to anything right now, of course. I have a feeling that the situation will continue to evolve, and as your name is often connected with noble deeds, I'm sure we will work together someday. He certainly returned quickly. You—
Neuvillette?
For now, yes. But this issue will prove quite thorny in the long term. Thank you for protecting Farina. To put it simply, I used my power to force back the Primordial Sea, and reseal the sluice gate. So as expected, the knave has turned up the pressure on Farina. She's trying to feel her out, though I'm permission granted.
Whoa. It can't be that you're the real... You can't tell us? Then that's okay.
If by the phrase, you guys, you are referring to Farina and I, then although I'm not sure just what you are trying to imply, I must clarify that I do not share her. I believe so. The fortress has a long and now, another catastrophe will soon be upon us. I'm more...
Huh? Why is...
You may be closer to the truth than you think.
Oh? And what are you thinking? The dragon of... Huh?
Please do not be so... Farina? My apologies.
We were just guessing randomly. We didn't guess right, did we? You're not actually the...
You guessed correctly.
Right, of course. There's still something...
Please.
Well, if you are the dragon sovereign of water, and you were able to force back the... Then since Fontaine's prophecy is all about seawater, couldn't you just use your power to solve the crisis?
None of the currently living dragon sovereigns in the world, myself included, they say that when the first usurper arrived on Tivat, they seized a part of the dragon's power.
There are 7 elemental archons and 7 matching dragons.
The dragon sovereign of water who lived through that era perished a long time ago. As their successor, in any case, I believe I will not be able to do much unless the archon disappears and returns their elemental authority to me. Given the status quo, however...
Oh, so even you can...
I still have some urgent matters to attend...
Please go right ahead. There's a place that Paimon wants... We'll see you another time.
Take care.